everybody, and welcome to another toy review. I am the 80s Transformers fan. My name is George. Today I'll be reviewing Master of the Universe Classics Ultimate Faker, done by Super 7 now. I'm going to get right into it. Pull him out of his box. The standard brown box. Nothing special about it. I can slide him out. And they're pretty tight. And here is Faker in all his glory with his nice vibrant orange armor, and you can see he's packaged with a slew of accessories. This is an awesome looking figure. It's almost it's laid out so nice, it's almost too good to open, but I am going to open him today. This is the front of the package. Obviously, you can see he's packed in with 2 extra heads, 3 extra swords, an axe, and a shield, a slew of weapons for 35 bucks. I don't think you can no longer get these from Super 7. They were made to order, unfortunately, and you have to get them on aftermarket now. Kind of wish I had got more. I got him and I got Ram Man from those guys. You were allowed to buy, to pick and choose the ones you wanted. And since I had most of the other guys, I have Faker, but I got it because I wanted this vintage He-Man head, or vintage Faker head now. But I pretty much spent $35 to get the head. And a slight paint redeco. The back of the box coming around. Just the camera. See the artwork. Faker versus He-Man. Very nice. It's new artwork, but it has that vintage look to it. And they have a little vintage assembly of the head artwork there. Here are the figures that are currently available, or I guess available on the secondhand market, and the figures that are coming soon. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And I have a little technique for this particular packaging to open it and try to preserve it. Like I said, it's a shame to open this wonderful packaging from Super 7 with the vintage red brick explosion going on. I'm gonna give this figure, I went a little too far. Give this figure 3 slices on both sides, then at the bottom where it's necessary. Should do it on this side and over here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I don't think you can. And because I love the packaging so much, I want to try to preserve it as much as I can. Okay, slice the bottom, unflap it here, slide Faker out. Packaging is open, but it's not completely ruined. Sticking to the back is a false little mini comic, or should I say a card, his bio card with the reverse side made to look like mini comic. It's Faker, I guess he's on the mad scientist table where they bring him to life. You got Trapjaw back there holding a sword, Triclops pulling a switch. Pretty sweet artwork with an extra head in the jar back there. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And here is Faker's, I don't know if I got too much light on that, Faker's bio. If you want, you can pause and read that. And here's a little bit more of the story. The classic stories continue. I guess Super 7 is rolling on with the story to make sense of some of the characters that they're doing now to add new people to the line. And this is pretty cool. I wish it was a little bit bigger. On to Faker himself. His color is so vibrant. Gotta cut him out of here. Much better. I have the original Faker. I never opened it. Most of my most of my Master of the Universe figures I have never opened because I don't have the display room to display them properly. So a lot of my guys, I got at least 60 guys in the box at least. Well, I can tell you the only ones I have loose are the ones that I couldn't wait to open. Like I got a Tila. Some of the ones my son opened by accident. Well, on purpose for him, but I didn't want to open. But oh man, love this faker. When I was a kid, I remember getting faker. A lot of people crack on faker, and the fact that he was just a awful repaint of original figure, and they sold you the figure again. If you look at it from that perspective, yeah, it was kind of a dumb idea. But I loved faker as a kid. When I got the original faker, just looking at the blue skin, if they had took a He-Man figure and an exact copy and then gave it some highlights, it wouldn't have had the same effect as the blue skin faker. And there is the classic He-Man head sculpt that was added to Ular in the original line, and they said you would never see it again ever, and they made all those promises, and now Super 7 is pumping it out in faker and in the other He-Man from their Ultimates. But as a kid, I was amazed. I loved the fact that he had the blue skin. It made him seem a little bit more evil, and then he had the Skeletor armor on. I think it was a great idea and a great choice to go that route. When I played with faker, I would pretend like everyone saw him as the exact same He-Man instead of this blue guy running around. But I love the blue Gar skin from the Gar race of Skeletor. But anyway, let's take a look at his armor. You can see he has a lot of detailing on it. It's the same armor as Skeletor. He has the bat over the shoulders. He has the crossed bones here, the little circle there painted red. Then he has a lot of bones going all the way around the back of the armor. It's done in an orangish gold. He has the gold buttons on the shoulder pads. His paint looks pretty good. He has the black gauntlets, the black belt, the purple loincloth with like a lighter purple or almost a pinkish wash over it. He has the purple boots with a little bit of wash over it. Here is the back of his armor. He is the standard Masters of the Universe figure. Obviously, he's done on the He-Man body. So if you have He-Man, you know exactly what you're going to get out of this figure. I'm going to start with his head. His head will 360. It's on that ball peg. You can take faker and look up about that far. Take him and look down that far just at the head, but you can bend him over because he has an ab crunch. Look down as much as you want to. Closer look at that ab crunch. Take faker arms. He has a shoulder joint at the top here that allows his arm to come up this far. If you swivel it, it can come up this far. You can bring his arms out to the side. He 360s at the shoulder joint. He 360s at the bicep. He has an elbow bend. Not a whole lot, but I think it's enough. And he has a wrist swivel. No further wrist articulation there. I showed you the ab crunch. He has a very tight waist. It can 360. He has an upper thigh joint in there, right just here. The legs can come out to the side, off this far. He can get into a sitting position about that much. If his loincloth wasn't there, probably can get him a little bit better. In case he steals a vehicle. They should have made a reverse battle cat for him, or a fake cat. His knee bends that far back, nothing forward. He has a swivel at his boot cut, and he has His foot comes this far forward at the ankle and that far back at the ankle. I'm not feeling anything rocker wise in his ankle, and he has the covered pin ankles, the newer style boots, and that is Faker so far. And you can remove his armor. These two gold pegs here double as the strap catches. You can pull his armor up and you can take a look at the mechanical workings. As you can see, his little electronic circuit panel, or whatever you want to call it, it's very dated. It has the tapes from the 80s, which is cool because I am the 80s Transformer fan. But that is his little Easter egg. It was on a vintage figure. It was on the previous classic figures. On this figure. Speaking of previous classic figure, I'm going to break out my original classics Faker. Like I said, it's unopened. I've had it out of the box. This is the old packaging versus the new packaging. They eventually went to a brown mailer, and this one is much taller because they changed it. But I'm gonna break out my Faker. Any of you guys remember when it came with the tissue paper that collects these figures? Just to show the difference, he has a very heavy wash on his armor, and this one has no wash. I actually like this one a lot better. His trunks, if it's picking it up because it's going through, filming through the bubble, his trunks has a gloss on them that this one doesn't have, and he has some gunmetal gray on the bracers, and this one is all black, and the hair has a much darker wash on it. Even though it's a different head, it's this head. I think this one is leaps and bounds better. I wish I had bought two to keep one in a package, because this one only came with the half power sword and the whole power sword, and this one obviously comes with a slew of weapons, which is what I'm going to get to next. So first off, we'll take the standard stuff. You could only get the shield and axe and a weapons pack previously for Faker, and I can't remember, I think it's called the Great Unrest weapons pack, and it was going for a boatload of money on the aftermarket for a while. But here is his axe done in a two-tone. It's done in metallic orange at the blade, and then the inner detail, then a straight up orange plastic. Here's his shield. Shield just clips on his wrist. You clip it on either wrist. I prefer to put it on the left. I'm right-handed. Here's his axe. Hands a little tight, which it should be. Here's Faker with his axe and shield, looking very much the clone of He-Man. Okay, we're going to move on to the mini comic Alcala Power Sword. Mine's a little bent out of the box, but I probably could heat it up and fix that. But there it is. It's curved from the packaging. See how the Alcala Power Sword fits in his hand. Again, if you don't know, it's the artist from the mini comic. I was never a big fan of the artwork in the mini comic, but a lot of the fanboys like the Alcala Power Sword. It's just all right, if you know what I'm saying. It's just all right. It's cool. I like that they have it in there. I would love the He-Man Alcala Power Sword though, actually. But there he is with that sword. Take that out of his hand. Here, and again, he comes with the half sword, and they're deep in there. It's like you have to really bend it just to get it out. If you can see it, I mean, they're in there very well. Or destroy the packaging, and this one is pretty solid, so it's not that. It has a little bit of warping at the top. And while I'm at it, I'm going to get the half sword, which is just as difficult, but since it's thinner, get a better pull on it. And here is the half power sword that's meant to merge with He-Man's. He has the same half Skeletor. I guess if you choose to go with the half sword story, and I stressed it right here pulling it out because it's so thin, so you might want to be careful pulling out the sword. He holds that pretty firmly even though it's a half sword, and I really like that. See if I can get it out without stressing it more. And here is his full power sword, and I'm pretty sure he holds them in either hand, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it just in case to end the mystery. And this hand is actually a lot tighter. It's actually a lot tighter. I'm gonna try to bend out the fingers and go again. There it is. Which I like tight hands, but that one is really tight. So here is Faker with the standard power sword from this Classics line and the Alcala looking version of the power sword. I love this Faker. He is the ultimate Faker. Only way he could be better is if he came with the battle armor and a damaged head for the vintage version. Speaking of heads, pop his head off. You just lift up on it, it pops off. It's on there firmly, but it pops off pretty easily enough, I should say. And here is it's actually harder getting it out of the bubble. Here is the head that he was originally packaged with from the Classics line. And these colors are so much more vibrant, so much more of a pleasure to look at than the regular version. If I had known exactly how these figures were going to come out, I might have bought more. At the time, I just got Faker and Ram Man because it was during the holiday season. I was committed to doing a lot of shopping, and I really didn't have the extra cash. Well, I had the extra cash, but I didn't want to push it because I already had the other figures. So I just got Ram Man, which I really wanted. I thought I wanted. And Faker because of the super vintage style head. But these colors are so much more vibrant. And here he is versus, if you can see it, versus the this is the same head, just repainted. I know it's in the package, and I know it's sort of a jip showing it to you like this, but yeah, he doesn't have the gold going around on the bones in there, no gold wash on there, and then he has that dirty wash on his armor, and again the silver highlights on the belt that's not present here. This one is way better. So if you missed out on the original and you only have this one, I can tell you as an owner of the original, this one is way better. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this head off and go for the battle damage version of that head, sort of Terminator style. And only way this came, I should have did my research before I did a tour review, but this didn't come with the original figure, obviously. It came with like another figure. They put these in there as a selling point for like weaker figures. I can't remember which figure he actually came with, but he was like a bonus accessory for another figure. And there is the Terminator style battle damaged head. I wish we had got a vintage battle damaged head, and I really would be geeking out about this. But I'm loving this Faker. I thought I would be loving the Ram Man figure that I reviewed, but loving his Faker. Loving the fact that he doesn't have much of a wash. He has a little highlight on his head, but it's so much better than the original. I mean, this is it. If you don't have a Faker and you grab this one, you grab the right one. So there he is with the battle damage head, and it's pretty cool. It's a lot of detail in there. It has the teeth, it has the Terminator red eye, has the jawbone in there. Pretty amazing. But we're going back to my favorite, the super vintage head on Faker. Really love this toy. My paint jobs are good. Only really problem I had was the bend on the Alcala power sword, which I can work that out with a little hair dryer treatment. Should be able to work it out. But Super 7, so far to me, Super 7 has done a great job It took a little longer to get these figures, but they delivered on their promise. They delivered on the quality, and I'm happy to have these figures, and I'm looking forward to what Super 7 has next. And I am George, the 80s Transformer fan. If you like my review, subscribe to my channel, and I got more coming soon. I must be losing my mind. I totally forgot to get a couple comparisons out here. First and foremost, I'm going to bring him out. This isn't the original He-Man. The very first He-Man production run had reverse shoulders that were not assembled correctly. The left was on the right and vice versa. And this is an original head, but the original head had like super rosy cheeks. So this was like the second production run that I have, which doesn't matter to me. I think I got the better one. But here he is. Next to, and it actually looks like he's just a hair shorter. I wonder why that is. You can see it looks like he's just a hair shorter than He-Man. I mean, it's the same sculpt, I believe, same loincloth. It looks like the same leg. It might be the different ankles, the more modern ankles versus the peg showing ankles, giving him the extra height. Wow. But here he is next to He-Man. They're both wearing the vintage style head. Again, it originated with the Ular figure. It was supposed to be a special, exclusive thing, and now it's every damn where. It's on the re-release of him from Super 7. But I bought a few Ulars thinking I would never see the head again. Here he is next to the original Master Universe Classic Skeletor. And I'm going to bring him a little bit closer to show you how much more vibrant the blue is. And from what I understand, the Super 7's Ultimate Skeletor has a much more vibrant blue. I've seen a few toy reviews. I love watching toy reviews. I review toys and I watch toy reviews. But you can see it's a much more vibrant blue on this figure. So that is Faker. I am the 80s Transformer fan, and this time I'm out of here. Alright, Master Universe fans, one last thing at the very end here. I was able to slide everything back into the packaging and pretty much preserve the look. If you still want to hang it or something, I was able to get the card back in there. It could be a little bit flatter in there, but it's all in there in the packaging. So there it is.